Yeah, man, you read that right. Your boy done caused the Army 250K in damages, bro. And I'm gonna tell you how. I'm gonna tell you why. Man, it was crazy, man. I had a great career going. This definitely wouldn't say it stopped me, but it was one of those things where people was like, "Man, are you sure?" But I'm gonna get into the story, man. Right? So, what was it about? I was about 2014, I guess, man. I was stationed at Camp Casey in Korea, which is north. It's extremely north. It's like one of the first bases from the DMZ. So we were like 8 miles from the DMZ. That splits North Korea and South Korea. So we were pretty up there, man. And I was with 70 BSB, a little a support battalion for all those guys out there, all those MLRSs and all those tankers and stuff like that. And during this time, I was an NCO, man. I had just got into my role as an NCO, so I was, I'm finding out what works and what doesn't work. And this was like my first duty station with new soldiers who had never seen me as a specialist or a private, man. So I was really excited. I was coming down to the end of my tour, man. And out there in 70 BSB land, as an NCO, you know, I'm, as you can tell from the video, I can talk very well. I'm smart. I'm educated. I'm a great teacher, right? So first sergeant and commander, they always came to me, when they needed somebody to train. The company either they call it sergeant times training. So I was always the standout guy, somebody out there. Hey, we need somebody to do some land navigation course. Hey, Sergeant Moore gonna do it. He gonna put together a class. He gonna get all the soldiers trained up on it and ready. So for this incident, right? The commander had came to me. First sergeant came to me. They were like, Moore, next week we're gonna have a mass cow exercise. I need you to go through CLS with the soldiers. We got 85 soldiers who are under E5 who are going to be joining this training. So I was supposed to go through the proper ways to basic survival as far as like me- giving medical attention, right? So I was going to go through the CPR, how to react to somebody, how to apply a tourniquet, things of that nature. I can't really remember exactly what everything was that I was gonna train on, but I wanted to make the training good. So, about 5-6 miles down the road, they had a place where you could go pick up training equipment, right? So for this training exercise, I was gonna go down there. I was gonna go get a bunch of cadavers, not cadavers, but like mannequins, to where we could practice how to apply tourniquets, how to buddy carry, in the event that we were attacked. I had these mannequins for the soldiers to perform on, so they wouldn't have to do it themselves, right? How to start an IV, things of that nature, right? So yeah, man, in Korea we didn't have no vehicles. So, I went to the headquarters platoon. Hey, man, can I get some vehicles? Or I got to go run down here. I got to pick up all this equipment that I need for class. Headquarters being headquarters, they hard headed. Oh, no, I don't want to give you my vehicle, blah, blah, blah. Or, I got hit with that. Oh, it's going to take an hour to do the dispatching, whatever, whatever. So, you know what, man, forget it, man. I'm going to take my own vehicles down there. I'm going to go grab my stuff. I'm coming right back. Every Monday I'll dispatch my vehicles. So we ready. But the thing is, the LMTV that I had, the SUV for the Army, I guess you could call it. The 2.5 ton. Um, it was out on mission, right? So the only vehicle I had left was a Hemet, but the Hemet is an 8-wheel drive vehicle, man. It looks like an 18-wheeler kind of. Now, but this particular one, because I, I was positioning myself in the 70 BSB not as a fuel truck driver, but as a water purification specialist, right? So I had these big Hemets. They had like these water blivets on them. You know, they hold water, they filter the water, and you know you can pass it out to drink, right? Yeah, man. So I told one of my soldiers, man, he about 45, 50 years old. He's an E4, you know. He could speak English a little bit, man. He was one of those guys. You knew he was gonna get the work done. He was a killer too, man. My boy Shrew was a killer, man. He was waiting for North Korea the whole time. Um, Pretty good guy, man. You could always count on him to do some work. But as far as like progression, like he didn't have any wants to become a sergeant or anything like that. So I told him, I was like, hey, you know, he's one of my good drivers. I was like, hey, bro, got to go down the street, man. I need you to go get the truck. So we jump in this Hemet, right? And we go down there. We get all the, you know, the equipment that we needed. I think it was like 4 or 5 of those fake people. You know, we had some bandages, we had some fake blood, and everything. So this class was gonna be amazing, right? So on our way back, I'm telling Shrew, I'm like, man, we gotta pull up next to the company. Let's pull up, let's unload, and let's go drop this truck off, right? Now the place where we worked was in a barracks, right? So everybody slept on the top floors, like 2 or 3 floors above us, and everybody worked at the bottom. Now outside of these barracks were dumpsters. Now in Korea, the dumpsters that we had were inside of, you know, they had a roof over them. You know what I mean? A little cement structure to like house the dumpster, right? It was crazy, but it had a roof on it. You know, it had some pillars, had some cement right there. But anyway, you know, my boy Shrew, he driving. I'm in the passenger side. You know, being the TC, trying to make sure everything good. So, so I'm driving. We're about to pull up to the company, and we hit a corner, and all of a sudden, the only thing I hear is scared. And I hear this loud boom. I'm like, man, what the fuck was that? So I look behind me, and there's water pouring out. Like we'd have ripped a big hole in the water filter system. And fucking water spewing out everywhere, bro. I'm like, man, what the fuck did we hit? So I jump out, and my boy Shrew done knocked over the whole dumpster building, bro. The building, I mean, it's a brick building, so if like anybody would have been standing there taking the trash out, bro, that thing would have fell on them, right? So this is no joke. This ain't like, luckily, nobody was injured. You know what I mean? All that stuff got fixed, luckily, right? But when I jumped out, some E7 from the infantry guys came running up. What the fuck are you guys doing? He's yelling it, cause y'all are driving too fucking fast, blah 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 blah. So he yelling at me. I'm in the passenger seat. So I'm like, man, what the fuck is you yelling? But you know that's the thing about the army. Everybody want to yell at everybody. So I was like, all right, you let this dude yell, man. I ain't really want to get too deep off into my specialist ass because he was already visibly scared. You know what I mean? Like, bro, don't worry about it. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna take care of this as your NCO. You ain't got to worry about it. But anyway, so we knocked over the trash building, right? And we got this big hole into one of our water tanks, and I'm fucked, right? My commander comes running out. He's yelling and cussing. My platoon leader, he comes running out. He's yelling and cussing. Everybody's yelling and cussing at me, man. Like it's my fault. Like I was the one driving, right? But that as an NCO, you know, if you've been in the military, you understand why I'm getting yelled at. Anyway, so they asked me what happened. I'm like, man, yeah, man, I guess he just cut the corner too sharp or whatever. You know what I mean? Luckily, when the investigation came down, they you know, they put one of the platoon leaders in charge of the investigation that, you know, I kind of knew. You know, these platoon leaders, they only been in the Army a year and a half. You know, at this time, I've been in 7 or 8. I've been teaching them, you know what I mean? So it was like, yeah, I know Sergeant Moore made a mistake, but we're not going to charge. So I didn't have to end up spending any money. Thank God, right? But I did get in trouble. You know, instead of getting the award that I deserved, for that year. They gave me some award they give the privates, which kind of hurt at the end of the day. Uh, you know, but it was better than spending that 250,000, man. Like, they spent like 150,000 to repair the concrete barrier that it damn near exploded, right? So when the truck turned, it clipped the roof, and so he kept driving, which caused that crack in the water tank, and he spun the roof completely off the trash can, and it fell down in the ground and just completely crumbled, man. Shout out to Shrew. Hey, Thompson, bro. If you see this, man, you fucked me over, bro. But, sorry, bro. It's good. The investigation came out. I was telling them my side of the story. Look, I told the PI, I was like, I took complete blame for the situation. I didn't want them coming down on my specialist. So I was like, yeah, man. I told him to drive up here. He wasn't driving real fast. I had given, I had given him all the NCO things. Boom. This is why he's not in trouble and it's my fault type thing, right? So I really thought they were gonna, get me in trouble and stuff like that. I mean, it kind of took me from way up here to like, okay, maybe his decision making is not so good. That happens, man. You could do 150 good things for people in your chain of command, but then there's that one thing that you don't do right or that you mess up on, and that'll erase all 150 things, right? But anyway, I wasn't really tripping. Shit happens. Like I say all the time, man. Hey, bad stuff gonna happen. You just gotta react to it well. So it didn't really bother me at all, man. Like, I mean, for a couple of weeks while he was doing the investigation, I'm thinking to myself, man, they're gonna make me pay for it. How am I gonna get out of this? I'm more worried about my soldier. I didn't want my soldier getting into any trouble. You know what I'm saying? Even though his dumb ass driving around the fucking thing, driving around an 18-wheeler like it's a fucking Mustang GT. But anyway, that was my man's. I didn't want to get him in trouble. $250,000, bro, down the drain. Man. Then my commander, he comes out, he's like, why the fuck are you driving this, this water tanker up here? First of all, I asked you guys for a Humvee, but your headquarters platoon over here, I don't want to give him my Humvee to go get this stuff. So I took it upon myself, sir, to go grab this shit. Y'all want me to do this class? Well, I gotta go get the shit. I'm not fit to pay a taxi cab $10 there and back. You know what I'm saying? When I got a free way to do it. Oh man, you should have got a Humvee or LMTV or something like that. Well, you talk to your platoon leader. I talked to him 3 hours ago. He told me no, I couldn't have it. You know what I mean? So, it was just a whole big thing. They eventually they had a safety briefing about it, and of course, your boy was on the topic of discussion in the safety brief. And they changed the whole policy to where like no vehicles were allowed to come anywhere near those roads any longer, right? They didn't want that to happen again. So they went a little overboard on that. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, it still worked out pretty well. I didn't have to pay the money back. My boy Shrew, he didn't have to get into any trouble. But yeah, it took them like a week to fix the trash can, man. They had like these humongous cranes they had to rent to pick up the old roof, put a new roof on, and then, we basically ruined the equipment, man. There wasn't no fixing the equipment. They had to turn it in and get some new filter equipment, man. Thinking back on it now, I could have done something differently, yeah. My boy Shrew, he also could have drove a little slower, But it is what it is. You live and learn. Luckily, nobody was hurt, man. Hey, if y'all haven't subscribed, man, most of my watch time is coming from people who aren't subscribed. If you haven't subscribed yet, man, click the subscription button. Press like on the video, man. Hit the post notifications, man, because we will be dropping more bangers for you soon, baby. A lot more military stories to come. That is how I cost the Army $250K, man. If y'all see this and y'all was in my command, I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry. I ain't mean it. But peace, love, and blessings to everybody, man.